Satellites locate to you, my dear, and blonde museums were there.
This is uncalled for. Uncalled for. Absolutely uncalled for. Get out of here. Leave me alone. I don't need a clean mouth. Get out of here. Well, are you proud of yourself? Hey, Ja. Are you proud of yourself? Did you clean my face? You did, didn't you? You like cleaning my face, don't you? Look at that face. Today, I'm taking on this bad boy because this thing has a real special place in my heart. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original, starring Kevin McCarthy. Okay, it's a long story, but here goes. So when I had my first band is when I met my best friend Seth. And one of the coolest things about Seth was Seth had the best taste in movies ever. He turned me on to Vincent Price. He turned me on to, well, this guy. But he did it in a really indirect way because here's what he did. He showed me a movie that Robert Rodriguez did really early on in his career called Road Racers. If you ever wonder why I have a massive love for leather jackets, Road Racers is why I love it. And what Road Racers was if you could take a movie directed by and written by Robert Rodriguez, starring David Arquette, Selma Hayek, and you mixed Rebel Without a Cause with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, you would have Road Racers. Somehow it incorporates a little bit of both movies and actually has a cameo by Kevin McCarthy, and it has a running storyline about Invasion of the Body Snatchers and how one of the characters in the movie thinks that that's a real thing, that really is happening. I loved it. I love the movie so much. It's to this day one of my all-time favorites. Every time I see David Arquette, I call him Dude Delaney, and he laughs, and I tell him what a big fan I am. And I'm actually going to get that poster, and I'm going to have him sign it at some point, because 2 out of the 3 people that are like the stars of that movie, I actually see on a pretty regular basis. Anyway, Seth showed me Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and the first thing I said is, hey, that's Victor Scrimshaw from Inner Space. I recognized him right away. The movie's been a huge part of my life, and then when I moved to Los Angeles, one of the very first things that I did was I went to the LA County Fair. A couple of months after I was here, the LA County Fair happened. I went, and lo and behold, I'm back in this exhibit area, and they're showing like all these weird new products and part of the exhibit or whatever, and then there's like a whole section of this exhibit that's just old TV and movie stars signing autographs. They're like, you know, you pay them like $20 or whatever, and they'll sign an 8x10 for you. And Kevin McCarthy was there. I walked up to Kevin McCarthy sitting at this booth by himself, and this is what I said. I looked at him, I said, sir, I love everything that you've done that I've ever seen. I said, your Twilight Zone's my favorite Twilight Zone. I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And I'm trying to make a record, and other than Vincent Price, there's only one person in the world that I could ever think of doing a voiceover on it, and it's you. Is there any way that I could talk you into doing it? He got a big grin on his face because I was like 18. He said, I'll give you my email address. I'd be happy to do it. So Kevin McCarthy did it. He gave me his email. We exchanged emails back and forth. We set up a time. He was going to be doing an autograph signing at a big Hollywood trade show. And he invited me and Michael to come down, and he recorded the parts for my first record. Due to a bad record label, that record never came out. Our record before it came out and our record after it came out, but that record never came out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you the 2 songs that Kevin McCarthy appeared on from my record, from my Candyland Riots record that's not out. And we are going to take you on the ultimate Invasion of the Body Snatchers film location guide, because I think I've found just about all of them. I've been to most of the places, and I really feel like this is one of those vlogs that everybody should see, and I'm going to love doing. So here we go. As soon as Brett gets here, we are off to vlog Invasion of the Body Snatchers. 1956, Don Siegel directed, written by Jack Finney. Everybody now kind of thinks that it had this McCarthy era ism about it. Jack Finney in an interview said that he never intended it that way. He didn't write it that way. But it just goes to show what people can interpret out of great art. So here we go. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And this? Well, this was from my meeting with Kevin McCarthy. To Jordan, you're next. Kevin McCarthy. September 14th, 2002. Well, I know this is about the craziest shot you can think of, but I'm actually outside the studio where they filmed the hospital scene, where the movie starts and ends with Miles Bennell telling him that he's not crazy. And literally what you're seeing right there, that white building right there, that was where it was. That was the hospital from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Well, folks, welcome to the fictitious town of Santa Mira and the office of Miles Bennell. Today we're doing the Invasion of the Body Snatchers locations, and we are here. Now this actually doubled for multiple parts of the movie. What this was the top floor was Miles' office, and you'll remember the shot of right here, there's kind of the clock right in front of it. And down below was the drugstore where he runs into Becky Driscoll after she's gotten her divorce and she's back in town. So I'm going to post a few pictures up of you'll see Miles and Becky walking out of this drugstore. Arm in arm. Then later on in the movie, this would have been his office right up here. These three windows. Like I said, you'll see that little clock right here. But once they've been kind of cornered up there and they're supposed to wait to become pod people, they actually end up escaping, you remember, and they come right out the back, right out this door. And they tell Sam that they're with them now. And Sam, the police officer, says, "Well, I thought they were going to let me know." And he said, "No, we're with you now." So that would have all happened right there. And there's a great shot of this is where Becky and Miles are trying to get away, and Becky sees the dog about to get hit, and she screams. And they head off through here. I'm going to post a shot of them crossing right here. This Chase Bank, actually the windows and everything are still the same. It's pretty crazy. I'll put a shot of them crossing the street right here. Here's the little town square that you'll see. Miles looks out his window and he sees the trucks pull up because he's noticed that people are out here waiting for a bus that usually doesn't come now. And you see all the trucks pull up and they start calling out people's names to distribute pods to families. And we'll take a walk over there because you'll remember the platform and everything. Those stairs and everything are exactly the same. And right here is where you would have, actually kind of where this picnic table is where the big box was that the guy was standing upon to call out names for families that were getting pods today. And the trucks would have been parked right here. And right along here, you would have seen trucks with just piled and stacked full of apartments. Well, there's Uncle Ira's house. You'll remember that Becky and Miles get called out here by Wilma because she says that Uncle Ira's not acting like Uncle Ira. And they would have had this conversation and a little lawn swing together over here. Miles would have came over, he would have listened to the conversation right here, and then he would have walked across, and that's the same walkway. While Uncle Ira was out here mowing the lawn. And Miles and Becky, of course, would have had their car parked right up in this driveway. And they would have backed out of here on their way out. And that house is actually still the same. It's a little hard to tell because of the tree and everything that's grown up, but you can kind of see that in the background. And then they take off driving down here. You can see these little posts in the side of Miles' driver's side window. Well, unfortunately, the house that they used for Becky's house is no longer here. They've actually put this in place of it. In this shot right here, you would have seen Miles' car come down this street and make a left onto this street. And this right here, this actually would have been the car lot that we saw. We would have seen Miles and Becky drive Miles' car down here. They would have went in through these gate and around there. He would have taken the for sale sign out of another car and put it in his car. And then on foot, they would have ran straight up there and made a left out the driveway. And I'll see if I can't put that footage in here of them driving down here, pulling in right here where this is now a parking lot, but it was a used car lot. They make a U right in front of here, literally right in front of this where this opening was, and his car would have been parked facing me. And right here, it's kind of hard to tell, but right here is where Kevin McCarthy's car would have been parked. Right there, while he's spying on them bringing the bodies out and the pods out. So he's flying a drone on top. Right here is where the Litchfield gas station is that we see Miles and Becky run through. They come running up right through this section. And then we see a crowd of people come chasing them up this street. This is kind of an angle of what we would have seen as they're running up the street. And you'll see the market and everything in the background. If you guys remember when I did the antique store vlog, right where that green light is right there, that's where his antique store was. That gives you an idea of where we're at. This is up where I take Jaw for the dog playing and the dog parking. So one of our shots then becomes our heroes of the movie, Becky and Miles, come running up this street. And then they take these stairs. All the way up. And we actually get a shot of the entire mob following and chasing up behind them. So Breck and I are going to take this staircase up. All right. This is the same staircase that Miles and Becky would have taken fleeing the pod people. And in an interview, Kevin McCarthy actually said he got massive Charlie horses from doing this. Of course.
The spotlights go to you, my dear. They go to you.
Now there's a house there, but they actually run into the dirt and run down that hill to the next spot. Right here, even though they're filming something up here, this is where Miles and Becky would have ran up. And into that cave. And that's all, this is also the Batman cave. So you can see right here, right into there. Alright, disclaimer guys. So when we went up to film the cave, they were filming something. They had the whole cave blocked off. So I went down to a security guard. He said they're going to be filming all week. So what I did was, even though the footage isn't great, I went back to the vlog when I went to the Bat Cave the first time, grabbed the footage of inside the cave. I'm inserting it right here so you can see what happened inside the Invasion of the Body Snatchers cave. I'm sorry, but it's all I could do. I wanted to give you that part of the scene to you, and I hope you understand. Back to the vlog. This is the cave. This is where the car would have driven out. And it's also, as I've said about 1,000 times, and I say it because I'm just such a huge fan, maybe my favorite science fiction movie ever, Kevin McCarthy in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Let's go in. John was taking a break and he now realized I'm still going, so here we go. There's actually 2 little forks in this thing that you can choose a different path. There. Yep, right here, pretty much right where we're standing right now, is where Kevin McCarthy would have looked down at Dana Winter, pretty much where Jaw is, and would have said, he would have kissed her, and he would have noticed that her eyes were no longer the same.
I went to sleep, Miles, and it happened.
Pretty cool. There's little caves. Since I have the broken lens, it makes it a little bit blurry, but because of that light. But you can see these 3 main little caves. And we'll go out it and you can see the back view. You can see some hikers. Way up there. And this is where Miles would have heard the choir singing, climbed up the hill only to find out it was a car radio. And right here, I believe, are the birch trees that we see him actually come running out from back in here. and up in this little trail back here. Kind of harder to see, but yeah, we see Miles come out from there. And we'll see. I'll post a little picture of those trees. Now right here is the stretch of road that we see Miles running up the street, which is kind of interesting because in the background you'll see right over here those white lights. That's actually what they used for the very last well, the last action shot where he's running looking for help. Here it is. Here's the overpass. This is where Miles is running up and down in between the traffic, yelling, "They're here! They're here already! You fools! The fools! They're here already! They're here!"
Now listen to me. There's a human being left inside of here. Not one. Hey, stop. Pull up, will you? Pull over to the side of the road. I need your help. Something terrible has happened.
Go on, you drunk. Get out of the street. Get out of here. Go on.
Look! You fools! You're in danger! Can't you see? They're after you! They're after all of us! Our wives, our children, everyone! They're here already! You're next! You're next! You're next! You're next! You're next!
You're next! You're next! And in the background, you can see all of this traffic. This is where it all happened. Well, since Jaw didn't get a go today, I bought him some special treats that my mom thinks he'll love. All right, Jaw. Kill. Do you like it? Hey, Jaw, do you like it? You must. You won't even look at me. You won't even look at me. You like it, don't you? You'll moonwalk for that stuff. Breck's hooking you up. I'm here to pick up the Rams tickets from Chuck. He can't go tomorrow, so Michael's gonna go in his place. So Chuck called me this morning and said that he had had ear surgery yesterday and was having some pain, so he wasn't going to go to the game. He's not going to go to the Rams game tomorrow, so he just told me I could have both tickets, so Michael's now going to go. So tune in tomorrow when I go to my first NFL football game with Michael.